All right. Terech of Gimel. We're actually holding by Seif Gimel. What we learned until now is that anybody who believes that the Kodesh Baruch Hu can give him parnasa, with a siba kala, which is just a small thing, small deed, and he doesn't chase after money, such a person is connected to the Orapanim B'Kedusha, to the light of Orapanim B'Kedusha, which constitutes life and simcha. This is what it's about. And anybody that does not believe that Kodesh Baruch Hu can give him parnasa easily, just with an easy, and he's running after money with great yigiyas, and he's running after it, and he is connecting to what they call Pan de Sitra Achra. He's like face to face with the Sitra Achra, which constitutes darkness and sorrow and death and idolatry, because all the idolatries in the world, all the avodah in the world, are intrinsic in money. It's all there. And the Rebbe says that the way that a person saves himself from Taivas Moment is through Shmiras HaBris. So the Bris is Melach, is Bris Melach Olam, and the very same way that the Melach sweetens the food, the Bris, which is Shmiras, it sweetens the bitterness of life, of the everyday life, because life by itself is full with strife. There's nothing what you can do about it. Everybody has to go through whatever he has to go through. There's no, nobody gets a get out of jail free card. There's no such thing. Pass, go collect $200. There's no such thing. It's just that everybody has to go through whatever he has to go through. But when a person has this bris melach olam, which is the tzaddik, which is Shmiras HaBris, it sweetens his life. It sweetens his life whatever he goes through. This is what we'll see if Gimel. This is what Moshe Rabbeinu blessed Am Yisrael. V'garesh mipanecha oyev. He will chase from before you, from your face, an enemy. Mipanecha, the kedusha. From the face the kedusha. V'yomer hashmed, and he says v'geresh mipanecha oyev v'yomer hashmed. That's the entire pasuk. It wasn't v'yomer hashmed. They will say, annihilate, destroy. Hashmed lashon shmad, which is lashon avodah zarah, which means Hainu Tavas Moment. Ki kol Yisrael nikraim tzadikim al shem habris. Everyone in Am Yisrael is called a tzaddik because they have this Orapanim D'Kedusha, because they're all gemalut. This is the reason why when HaKadosh Baruch Hu chases away from them, from their Panim D'Kedusha, their face of Kedusha, the enemy, he drops those enemies. What does he do to those enemies? He drops those enemies into the face of Sitra Acha. They're connected to the face of it. Hainu Hashmed, Shon Shma, they fall into Tavas Moment. Nimtza kol tzadik v'tzadik. So it says it's a rule. Every single tzaddik, כשהקדוש ברוך הוא רוצה לגרש אויב של tzaddik, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to eradicate the enemies of the tzaddik, he pushes that particular enemy into greed, into the vice of greed. Ki tzaddik ubris oilom. The tzaddik, he constitutes bris oilom. That's the because he's the one who's zeicher to tikkun abris b'shleimus. So Mimele, he's zeicher to be included in the Palmei Kedusha perfectly. V'zeh ha'oyev shel tzaddik, and that enemy of the tzaddik, shechoylek al tzaddik, he is the one that disputes the tzaddik. Ein lo melach le'amtik mirusay. He's the antithesis of the tzaddik. Therefore, he doesn't have the salt to sweeten the natural bitterness of his life. Ki melach mamon chaser. The thing that diminishes the vice, the type of greed, is through the bris, which is melach. Ki ikar taivas momen shenismait eino ela al yedei bris. The only thing that diminishes the lust for money is only through the rectification of the bris. So once somebody is the enemy of the tzaddik, means that he is the adversary of the very essence of Shmiras HaBris. So he falls in the Tavis moment. That's why they say about Zvulun, She'oyev le'Yisachar. Zvulun used to love the Yisachar. Yisachar is the tzaddik. They had a deal between them. Yisachar was Zvulun. Yisachar was sitting and learning Torah, and Zvulun was the merchant that was holding him up. He was giving him parnasa. Ne'emar bo, it is said about Zvulun, smach Zvulun. Smach hefech b'yitzoron. It's the opposite of sorrow and depression and mosh chayra. In other words, Zvulun was zoiche to or upon him, which is simcha, as it is said, Sava smachas espanecha. The minute you have espanecha, you are filled with smachas. You are satiated with simcha, because the tzaddik, he's zoiche to or upon him b'shleimus. And anybody who loves the tzaddik and misbattle to him, he's also zoiche to be mekabel from him the illumination from or upon him. And Mimela, he's zoiche to be mevatel taivas moment from him. It's a very good thing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam she'hakol nהיה b'dvoro. I heard that they said that Rav Berlan Shlita was in a certain village outside of Johannesburg. It was far away from Johannesburg, and somebody was snitched that he's there, and he sent the police after him on Erev Shabbos, and say they came with guns, searching all the places of all his people there. And they came to the house that he was there, and he was on the second floor. And they were searching all the houses. He was on the second floor. And they searched the first floor. They didn't let him up, and he just left. So they took him away. I mean, the Chassidim, they just what he has to go through. Who knows what's the tikkunim and all that stuff that he has to go through. But I'm thinking, I am so happy that I'm not the one who sent the police after him. I don't have much to brag about, I don't bring much to the table, but this, I didn't do it. This I didn't do. It's a simcha gedola.
But that you're not making tzaddik.
Yeah, it wasn't,
through you.
first of all, it wasn't masa any yid bichlal. Any yid is mostly, I'm talking about somebody who's mostly a tzaddik or a tamid chacham. Forget about that. The mostly pashta yid, the most pashta yid. Shulchan Aruch says, that anybody who is a roidev is supposed to go and kill him. It's actually you're supposed to go and kill him as din misa. Shemir achim. Kal v'chomer, somebody who was a moise, a tamid chacham, the tzaddik, it's like tamid chacham has this definition for what does it mean tamid chacham. Tamid chacham is anybody that you ask him anyway in halacha and he can answer you. I mean, at least that. It's just like yeah. And what is the simcha of Zvulun? What is the simcha of Zvulun and what is the wisdom of Issachar, of the tzaddik? They say about Issachar, Chamor Garim, he is a donkey with stout bones. And he says, Vayar menucha kitov, and he saw that menucha, that rest, is good. Vayet shichma lisbon, and he lowered his shoulder to undertake a yoke. So this pasuk lichor sounds a little bit like a Purim Torah. What do you mean? He saw that resting is good, that rest is good. So what did he do? And he went in there to suffer a yoke. Should have been. He saw menucha is good, set on an easy chair with a campari, with those little, paper umbrellas, with a slice of, orange or pineapple, next to the pool, or a pitcher of sangria or something, at least something. He said he saw menucha is good. And what did he do? He won Vayet Shichma Lisbon. But the secret is, Yisachar, they say about him, Ubnei Yisachar, Yoidei Bino Le'itim, which means they were completely versed in the secret of Seder Ibor, of the Levana, of the years, and whatever it is. That's the deepest Chachma of the Torah. Which is, Issachar was the deepest cup. He had the best cup of all the Shvatim. He was the deepest, the tiefste cup of all the Shvatim. And what was this tiefe cup? Is Issachar reflected into what is the most precious commodity in life. And he said the most precious commodity in life is a peace of mind, a presence of mind. Then you are able to have your priorities straight, and overcome everything that you need to. So what he understood is that the only way to achieve serenity in this life is by accepting a priori, before the fact, all the suffering that will come his way. Usually, why does a person lose his peace of mind? Because the things that he doesn't like are happening to him. This, I can't believe what happened to me, and this happened to me, and that happened to me, and I can believe this, and my daughter says this, and my husband said this, and my father said this, and my mother said this, and my friend did this, and this one did to me, and this one did to me, and I can't believe the whole thing, and the traffic, and this guy, and he cut to me, and blah, 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 blah. But if a person is makabel on himself, whatever will come. things that I'm ready for, or things that I'm not ready for. I'm trying to darken the picture a little bit. He was makabel. So he had menucha. He says he put his yoke. Said, fine. I'm willing to carry the yoke. I'm willing to suffer. It's fine. It's not an issue, because the reason for misery is not the actual reality, but the fact that you don't want it, and it annoys you, and it makes you feel bad about yourself, and it makes you mad at yourself for being the one who's making you suffer, who's feeling the suffering that you feel. So who's to blame? You are to blame, because you're the one who's suffering the pain. So you're causing me the pain. I'm causing me the pain. So it causes me to be angry at me. It's believe me, it works that way.
Yeah. Right.
It's
right.
like, and rage is when that anger is directed outside towards other people. When that anger is directed inside, the result is depression. Depression is when a person is angry at himself inside. But if a person is makabel, you go to a blood test. They're gonna what can you do? They're gonna do it. No one knows. Shine, it's not the end of the world. That was Yisachar, the Tifsta, the Tzaddik. It was that. Rochov asked a sign of life. She asked the Meraglim that Yeshua has sent, to spy Yericho, that they should give her a simon that she should know that she will not die when the Jews are going to conquer Yericho. And you will give me an ois of truth. Because emes is the orapanim. And the orapanim, as we said before, constitutes life. And this is be'or pnei melech chaim. She wanted life. She wanted chaim. So this, she won't die when everybody else will die. They told her, "Es tikvas chut hashani tikshirlach." The hope of the crimson string you will tie to your window, because tikva, hope, ze b'chinas emunah, right? Because tikva is what? Is that you have a emunah, that you believe that it's going to end well, right? That's because the tikva is emunah. K'mo shekosav v'yesh tikva l'acharisech. There's tikva to your end. You have hope that the end will be good. The emunah, and emunah itself, Achris hayomim. That's Achris hayomim. That's the end of days. Ke'aleh oimdim kol hamidos. That's the emunah is the foundation of all the good midos. K'mo she'Amos Chazal said, Maseches Makos b'Chabakuk, ve'emidon alachas. He put all the mitzvahs of the Torah, he predicated, he established them on one single emunah. Ve'tzadik ve'emunoso yichyeh. And tzaddik has emunah, this is the thing that will give him life. So emunah is the main midah through which you get all the midas. because the Emunah, which is the Malchus, that's the last midah of all the midos. Is Tzibur Malchus, and you know, you have this Shalosh Rishonis, is Chochmah Bin Adas, then you have the 7 midos, you know, and the last one is the Malchus. So that's midah Achrayno. And it's only through the Malchus that it is possible to attain all the midas which is above it. And the midas, they're also called, you know, the 7 midas is also called yomim, because what is a day? A day is a quantity of time. What is a midah? It's a measurement, right? What is the midah here? The midah is a measurement. It's like, what's your measurement of chesed? What's your size of gvura? You know, what's your size of this? So midah represents a known quantity, a measurement. This is a midah. And when they say about Beis Hamikdash, they say about the Mishkan. What is the midas? What is the measurement of the Mishkan? Okay? Mm-hmm. So the 7 midas, the 7 spheres, is also called the 7 days. Because it is said, as Rabbeinu says in Torah Nun Vav, Umidas Yomai Mahi. So you see, the midah and the yomim are the midas. Because the Kodesh Baruch Hu is infinite. The Yam HaChochma is infinite. The only way that you can drink water is if you put it into something that has a quantity, a smaller quantity, that constricts it into a cup, into your hand, to your mouth. You know, when there's unending, people drown. Same thing. You wanna sail on the sea. Mm-hmm. You need to have a vessel that will push away the water, right? Will push away the water, the displacement. That's how they measure, you know, how much a sea can carry, a ship can carry, right? The displacement they call it. You know, how much is it? What does it displace? Displaces the water, right? It displaces the water. It's a tzimtzum. That's the thing that enables the navigation of an endless medium. You know, in the sea. You know, the same thing with air. The same thing with anything else. So the days of a person, the life of a person, is measured in midas. There are the years, there are the months, there are the weeks, there are the days, there are the hours, and there are the minutes. These are all measurements to fill with goodness, because otherwise you have to have a day. So according to your day, there has to be a certain order to the day. A certain time that you sleep, a certain time that you eat, a certain time that you work, a certain time that you daven, a certain time that you learn. I mean, everything has to be in the midah. Everything has to be in this, because you know, riboy or, otherwise it's riboy or. If there's no constriction, you know, they say that too much oil lashes out the flame. You know, if you pour too much, it's just there's riboy or, then everything breaks. On the whole, it has to be mitzumtzum. So the 7 spheres, you know, from Chesed to the Gvur, to the Malchus, Chesed, Gvur, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yisod, Malchus, I call the 7 midos, the 7 measurements. Mimela, they're also called the 7 days. You know, they are like the 7 days of the week. Like the week is a midah, and every single day is a midah, is a measurement. It's a vessel. It's a keli. Okay, so you see here that it is that the midas are days, And since the tikva talks about a belief in a happy ending, right?
Yeah.
In a happy end, in achris. So this is the emunah. The tikva for a good achris is emunah. So tikva and emunah are actually one and the same. They're synonymous with one another. The chut hashani and the crimson rope. This is shani is a glowing crimson color. Zeh b'chinas richas or hapanim. That is the shining of the light of the panim. As it is said about when Tamar, the wife of Yehuda, when she gave birth, and first, one of the babies put his hand out, and they tied a roite bindle, a chut hashani, around his hand, and he took his hand back. Mm-hmm. Then his brother came out first. So this is ma paratzta lecha peretz. What are you bursting in? Bursting out first. So they call him peretz. V'achar, and afterwards, yotza achiv, that his brother came, asher al yado hashani. That's the original pasuk says that he had that crimson string tied to his hand. Vayikra shmo zerach. And they called his name Zerach, means shining. You see, the chut hashani is intrinsically identified with Zerach, with Zricha. The Zricha is the shining of the chut hashani that was on his hand. So you see, the chut hashani is a euphemism for Zrichas or for the shining of the light. And ultimately, what does it allude to? It alludes to Zrichas Or upon him. That's the shining of Or upon him. That's why the messengers of Yeshua told Rachav that she has to be Zoche to Emunah. Through Emunah, she'll get Emes, which is Or upon him. And Or upon him is automatically Chaim. And this will enable her to survive once they conquer the city. When it says, and this is alluded to in the pasuk, Ki achoshech yichase eretz, for the darkness shall cover land, ve'alayich yizroch Hashem. The darkness will cover the land, but upon you, Hashem will shine. Ki choshech ubchinas beitzavon. The choshech constitutes sorrow, depression. The tyrus of parnasa, and the lust for parnasa. Shetzar kiflaim ke'aleida. The tsar of the parnasa is twice as much as the tsar of birth giving. Anpin chashuchin, and that constitutes darkened face. Avodah zarah. That's pashut avodah zarah. And this choshech, this darkness, he covers the goyim, which are very, very, very far from kedushas habris. V'alayich yizrach Hashem. However, upon you Hashem will shine, because Am Yisrael are called tzaddikim, because of the bris. So Mimeina Dazoicha to Emunah Selakos. They believe in Hashem. Shehu B'chinas Richas Or Aponim. The Emunah Selakos is the shining of the Or Aponim, the light of the face of Hashem. And this is what we said before. B'chinas Vayichas Pnei Ha'ir, Vayichan Pnei Yaakov, parked outside the town. Vayichas Pnei Ha'ir. So Tikkun Matbeya is a Tikkun Taivas moment. Remember, we said in the Torah that we learned in Shul, we says it's Chad Amar Matbeya Tikkun Lahem and Chad Amar Merchatzoes, a mikveh. And it says we both is the same thing. Matbea is Taivas moment, and the mikveh is when somebody's Ovid Avodah Zarah wants to become Jewish. The washing off of the Avodah Zarah is the mikveh, but Bas Paroi that came to travel in the Yor, B'chinas Smach Zvul. This is the happiness of Zvul. This is what Chazal said in Kemen Etzisua, when a person married a woman, used to tell him Motza or Moitze. You know, there are two psukim about finding a wife. It says Matzah and Moitze. One says Matzah Isha, Matzah Toiv. Found a woman, you found good. And there's another one which is not so nice. It says Moitze Ani Esa Isha, I found the woman more bitter than death. So what's the difference between matzah and moitze? Why did you say this is in past tense? I found the woman, you found the woman, you found good. I find the woman more bitter than death. So people say that people tend to take good for granted. When you found yourself a good woman, you take it for granted. So if you say you found a woman, she's a good woman. Because you already take it for granted, she's good. But if you're still finding the woman, you're still noticing you on a daily basis, you know, it means that mommy mamas. It all depends what kind, because you get used to good, but you never get used to bad. Nobody gets used to bad. Good, sure, what do you mean? I deserve it, but this is. As Chazal said, Parnoso B'chinas Isha. Parnoso is the concept the in of Isha. As Chazal says, anybody who goes into, he pushes his friend from his Parnosa, Kilo Baal Ishtay. Like Shemirachim, was a newf. And besides, the Rebbe says in a different Torah that all the Parnosa comes from the woman. That's what Chazal said, cherish your wives, honor your wives, so you should get rich. Because all the money that a couple has, it depends on the light of the nefesh of the Isha. It all comes from her. She is the source of the money for the. So if a person honors his wife, he has parnosa b'neika. It all depends. Instead of this, they get into an argument. He says, all you do is waste money all day long, and you just throw money away. What do you think? I'm made out of money. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? You don't know that all your money comes from the or nafsha of the isha. So parnosa should be itzova, and parnosa that comes with sorrow. I found a woman more bitter than death, which means that that's the bitterness of this world. So that has to be sweetened with using the salt, which is the Kedusha Sabris. It says, as it says before, if there wasn't for salt, if there was no salt in the world would not have been able to sustain the bitterness of what? Of the Isha, of the Parnasa, which is a mirrors. That's why, Fakert in Parnasa de Kedusha, it says, Motza Isha, Motza Toiv. You found a woman, you found good. Good is Toiv B'chinas Tzadik. It says, this is Vaterodin, this is what Basparo, she opened up the Tevas Moshe, and you saw Vatarot Kitoiv, right? So it was good, the Tzadik is Toiv. B'chinas Bris Melach, that's the covenant of the salt. Shu Mamtik Merirus, it sweetens the bitterness. Which bitterness? I'm a Taivas ve'itzovan aparnosa. That's the Taiva and the inherent bitterness, which is in the lust of greed. The parnosa, shu b'chinas smach zvolu mitzeisecha. Parnasa is that Zvulun is the merchant. He's the businessman, right? Mm-hmm. He's the one supporting Yisachar. All of a sudden we says he's a happy rich man. Whoever found the happy rich man? In other words, when a person is zeicha to break his lust for mammon, and he believes the Kodesh Baruch Hu can give him parnasa b'siba kol with an easy cause, with this he's zeicha to simcha. U'pchinas motza isha, motza toiv. That means you found a woman, you found good, and it's true al pi pshat, and it's true al pi remez. Ve'in tov el tzaddik, and the essence of goodness is the tzaddik. Hainu bris, the bris is the essence of goodness. Kmosha Omro is the Ishayahu, the Novi says, Imru tzaddik ki toiv. The tzaddik is called toiv, and the tzaddik is b'chinas kedusha sabris. Anybody who guards his bris is called a tzaddik. Moshe Kosen says about Moshe Rabbeinu, Vater oto ki toiv. He said he saw he was good. Was pshat, he saw he was good. Chazal said shenoilad mal, if he was born already circumcised. And toiv el ha'or, and goodness is light. Goodness, Moshe Kosov vayara Elokim es ha'or ki toiv. And when HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw the light, he saw that it is good. This is or upon him. Shezeh b'chinas v'alayich yizrach Hashem. When you are zoichet to kedushas habris, you are zoichet to escape from the lust of greed. So alayich Yizrach Hashem b'chinas chut hashoni. In other words, as we said, if you broke the lust for greed, you are zoichet to motzah isha, motzah toiv, and the toiv is the bris, and that's the or upon him. That's all one thing, because through the bris you get the or upon him. Shlomo HaMelech, who was rich beyond, he said, Hevel havolim hakol hevel. This is nothing. So there's a very interesting medrash about this that says, Shlomo HaMelech says, Hevel havolim hakol hevel. You know, it's a shtus shebeshtus. Everything is a shtus. Everything in this world is a shtus. So Chazal said, if anybody, you know, some kind of a pauper, you know, a poor person will say, you know, everything is nothing, money is nothing, all the possessions of the world are nothing. People would ask him, how do you know? Were you ever rich? Did you have any money? You know? But Shlomo HaMelech, they said that he put silver was as plentiful of stones in the street in Yerushalayim, he was so rich. He says, for him, it's befitting to say it's called Hevel. A normal human being, you know, the way the people would see themselves, they said exactly the opposite. Because he had all this money, so, you know, it didn't mean anything to him. But the rich people that really needs money, you know, maybe he's the one should say, I mean, it's easy for you to say because he got all this money. But the answer is fakir. The poor person does not miss money. The poor person wants to get rid of the pressure of not having money. But it's not money. What are you going to do with money? You have paper. What are you going to do with paper? What are you going to do? You're going to buy things. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. It's not money itself. So they think money is important, which it is, because you need parnasa, because you need this, because you need that. But be'etzem, money in itself is gorish mitnisht, and this only a person that has all the money in the world can know. It means nothing. It's gorish. Doesn't make anybody any happier. Fakir. You know, the more you have, you know, marbe nechasim marbe da'aga, the more property you have, the more worries you have. Ad kan, Likutei Moharan for today.